I woke up while nature was sound asleep, so I could marvel at its kingdom. I strolled through its lush gardens and saw every little wonder up close. Here, you can dance with giants, discover a feast for the eyes, and a feast for the appetite. Walls that hold heroes' stories told me of their bravery, while sacred places blessed my journey. I roamed places that stood the test of time, and others that were there since the beginning. I woke up
Every day, I wake up to a feast. Where I can sink my teeth into history. Or shock my taste buds with something new. It's here I learned the color of sweetness, expanded my pantry, and my appetite. Every next bite only leaves you hungry for more. Every day, I wake up.
I just woke up from the time of my life. It started with a major throwback. Then I got to meet the big shots. I found a sweet spot between cultures and hung out with the artsy crowd. I even picked up a few things along the way. After that, things kicked into overdrive. It started with a whirlwind through the streets, an unforgettable eats, a celebration of flavor in every bite, and an epic youth party at every turn. The best thing about it here, the good times are never over.
Mabuhay! You're now boarding GPSTV. I'm Aya Fernandez and I'll be your online travel buddy. Join me as we navigate our way through your favorite destinations, making sure, of course, to hashtag go safe, go travel. So aside from it's more fun in the Philippines, let's use the hashtag go safe, go travel. So part of making sure that we do stay safe is by following safety protocols whenever we may be. And I must say, online is really the new way to go. May it be awards night, virtual classes ranging from workouts to, education, even sa mga photo shoots, diba? Lahat yan, online na ngayon. It's really amazing how businesses and individuals have adapted to the new times, to what we have right now, including the tourism industry na pag-uusapan natin yan ngayon. So with online events left and right, everyone is keeping themselves busy amid the pandemic. HSMA's Virtus Awards will also take a different turn this year, but the show must go on. The tradition of recognizing excellence among sales and marketing professionals in the hotels and resorts will push through headstrong, di ba? Headstrong talaga. I-emphasize natin yan. And now that we are on GCQ, we can also enjoy the view and have a peaceful staycation. May hint na tayo kung ano yung pag-uusapan natin today. To help us prepare for a wonderful staycation, we've invited esteemed guests in integrated resorts, tourism officials, and a business extraordinaire. So watch this. All right. Here to join us today is first Miss Alexa Herrera. She is the Director of Sales and Marketing of CADA Manila. Next on our panel is Miss Shelo Robredo Ortega. She's the Vice President of Okada Manila, and she's also the Outstanding Sales and Marketing Leader winner in 2015. Next on our panel is Miss Evangeline A. Imperial. She is the Director of Sales and Marketing in Vancouver. And last, of course, but not least, Sir Lax Mendoza. He is the ASEAN Master Assessor, Travel Agency Division, Tourism Operations Officer from the Municipality of Dolores, Quezon. Hello, Sir Lax.
Hello, Aya. Good afternoon to everybody.
Una sa lahat, Sir Lax, salamat. I know you're very busy and everyone is, but I can just see visually you are in transit or you're inside the car. So maraming salamat for giving us the time. And talagang ito na yung new normal, no? Kahit nasan ka, possible kang nasa isang panel discussion online. So let me ask the first question, and it's like really relevant right now. How do you think, guys, the world of events have evolved? Like, how can we conduct online events right now? Like, ano ba yung mindset that we're supposed to have in order to carry out a successful online event? Kasi dati nasanay tayo lahat on ground, di ba?
Yep.
Yes, I see you, Miss Evangeline, nodding. Oh, what?
Yes, well, like this. Usually, these interviews are conducted on site, face to face, in person. And now we're conducting it successfully, I might add, online. The only thing caveat is technology. The technology must really be spot on. If internet is slow, if there's no electricity sometimes. I've experienced a meeting where nagka-brown out. So there are some definite challenges and certain things you cannot rehearse. In an online setting, everything must be prepared and must be rehearsed. But certain things happen when the internet collapses or yun na nga, nag-brown out, biglang deadma.
How about you, Miss Alex, Michelle? Coming from the perspective of sanay kayo sa hotel and resorts on-ground events. Ngayon na nasa online world na tayo, how is it for you?
Like what Miss Evangeline said, right? It's really a complete turnaround. We're used to being on the ground, and then all of a sudden, all of us are having meetings or even celebrating events, right? At the comfort of our own home. So it's really all about planning. What if you have the right technology, then everything would flow smoothly.
Like what Alexa has mentioned, the world of events has significantly changed. Like right now, we are broadcasting via Facebook and YouTube. So, but of course, we will be able to reach a lot of Filipinos and even clients and friends abroad. So this is now the new technology. So connectivity is very vital. It's very, very important. And it's really crucial to have a good connectivity, like what Vanji has mentioned. And I think we also have to have this mindset that we should be open to change or even disruptions. So hindi na pwedeng, hindi tayo, ay mapuputo. Like what happened to me a while ago, right?
Yeah.
It's a perfect example na hindi mape-perfect ang event ngayon because we have these virtual meetings and virtual events. So we have to adapt to the norms of the times and we have to be flexible also. And I must say, for the client side, no, for the part of the events venues, we really have to support the clients and the suppliers. Most especially, ang uso ngayon is hybrid events, no? We distribute the different guests in, for example, multiple function rooms or venues, and then naka-live stream. So again, connectivity is very, very important. We call that hybrid events. So that's really one of the new norms nowadays.
Bagong term yan, hybrid event.
Hybrid, yeah, we call it hybrid
event. How about you, Sir Lax? Meron ba po kayong mindset before kapag sa online event, on-ground events in terms of the tourism industry na na-carried over pa rin hanggang ngayon sa online events? Like a specific mindset if you have.
Well, to be honest, hi Shelo muna. I have very good friend of
Relax.
mine. Oo. Actually, the thing is, yung event, yung pandemic na ito actually has given me insights more on positivity. Not positive in COVID, but more on how we look on life positively. Sabi ko nga, there are certain things in the event industry that you cannot do virtually. And I'm sure our colleagues in the industry would agree to that. But there are some that can be done virtually. So probably kung ano man yung mga bagay that we can do virtually, we have to focus more on that pertaining to marketing, pertaining to sales. Kasi minsan may mga bagay talaga that we cannot really we cannot make pilit, kumbaga. Kung hindi talaga pwede, then hindi talaga pwede. So coming from the LGU side, syempre you're all aware naman that we have festivals, di ba? We have fiestas and all that. So natutuwa ako because I learned how to use the OBS program. It's the studio thing program that most of those operator of LED walls are using. And then we went live for our fiesta celebration. Wow. And nakakatuwa siya kasi parang na-experience ko being a tourism practitioner na maging media practitioner. Like, you know, how you work behind the TV screens, kung kailan kasi sigaw ng cut, kung kailan mo i-relive ulit. So, minsan nakakatuwa yung experience itself. But then again, sabi nga ni Shella, we have to embrace the change. Diba? And kaya sabi ko, nakikita ko yung positivity because most of us, probably, we are on that particular point in our lives na, okay, so I'm already on my 40s. 'Di ba? Okay na yung marunong akong mag-email, okay na yung marunong akong mag-browse sa internet, okay na yung marunong akong mag-create ng mga templates or PowerPoints or Excel sheets. Pero hindi pa pala dapat doon tumitigil yung mundo natin.
True.
With what have happened to us due to this pandemic, kailangan pala, katulad ko, kailangan ko pala matuto na akong mag-layout through Photoshop. Kasi kailangan ko yung background niya for the OBS, for a virtual event. Tapos itong Zoom na to, 'di ba? When I was first doing it, talagang sabi ko sa inyo, Aya, masisiraan ako ng ulo kasi hindi ko alam kung ano i-click ko. And I'm sure most of us can actually relate to that. Pero ngayon, kaya ko palang gumawa ng 100 breakout rooms if I wanted to do a video
Wow.
event,
Wow.
'di ba?
Wow.
Yeah, and you can throw all your buyers to each of the suppliers, and then after that you throw them again to another supplier and all that. So sabi ko, to in totality, mahirap. Lahat naman tayo nahirapan. But this moment, after 7 months, we're all here facing each other via Facebook and we're still alive, is
Yes.
already a blessing.
Yes, amen to that. And also, Sir Lax, naisip ko rin, aside from, at first siguro, human instinct yung maisip mo na it's hard kasi it's changing. But at the same time,
Yes.
we learn. We
Yes.
expand our knowledge. And at the same time, meron tayong mga new strengths na na-unleash
Exactly.
with this work. Diba? Wow, naging ano pala to, na reflection discussion. Pero true, diba? Kidding aside, it's really true. Thank you for that. You mentioned OBS earlier for the benefit of our viewers.
Yeah.
What do you mean by OBS? Para lang alam po nila.
Actually, hindi ko alam what OBS stands for. Only the S I know, it's studio. Kasi I just saw it from another municipality, and apparently, well, luckily, the tourism officer there is my friend. So sabi ko, friend, anong ginamit mong program dyan? Kasi kako, when we do it live na walang framing, parang ang pangit. Sabi kong ganon. And then he
Oo.
mentioned to me, just download the OBS system.
Yes. At saka, just to add to what you said, correct me if I'm wrong, or you can add, ngayon natin na-realize din yung importance ng creative layout. Kasi before,
Yes.
di ba, no? I just hear from co-millennials, co-Gen Z na sometimes they are underappreciated, di natin na-realize na napakahalaga pala ng virtual layout. So,
True.
kung sino man yung mga nanonood ngayon na layout artists, kudos to you. We need you. Now, Miss Shello, how did you prepare for Virtus? How does it feel like to be among the first batch of winners, diba? Outstanding sales and marketing leader in 2015. Wow.
Well, of course, I did my homework, so to speak. I did a lot of research for my category, and I have been in the industry for more than 2 decades. So I have studied and reviewed all my accomplishments for more than 20 years, and I highlighted my strengths and accomplishments. And you must also be prepared mentally, physically, and emotionally to join the Virtus. And you must show them your determination and grit. I think that's the most important part.
And the Miss Universe crown goes to... Anyway, congratulations, Michelle.
Thank you.
Wala lang. Very much inspiring. Lalo na this time, we are honored to have you in this panel. Anyway, let's segue to integrated resorts. Na mention natin yan kanina. Now that integrated resorts are allowed to operate, preceded by the establishment strictly following the staycation guidelines. Yan guys, meron akong emphasis pwede na, open na sila, but we are strictly following protocols. What is the staycation experience like in integrated resorts? So anyone can answer.
So I'll like to share, Aya. Here at Okada, we actually implemented very strict guidelines. Like what you said, we're always stressing on the strict guidelines, and it's under our umbrella of what we call our 3T system, which is true clean, true safe, true hard. And under that, we've followed all world-class leading standards of safety and health procedures, which will, of course, the guests will expect a worry-free and safe staycation at Akada. So that's really what we want to assure our guests, that everyone in our team has been training for the past 6 months with these guidelines to assure their health and safety.
Pero before natin i-discuss yon, ano ba muna yung integrated resorts? Diba? Kasi baka merong napapa-wonder sa mga nanonood ngayon. Ano nga ba po yung integrated resorts? Can anyone briefly explain?
I'll answer that. An integrated resort it's an all-in-one facility. Everything you ever need to do on a vacation, on a staycation, for entertainment is right there. F&B offerings, entertainment in terms of world-class stage shows, world-class musical concerts, shopping, world-class shopping, and of course, hotel facilities. So integrated resorts really lends itself to a staycation because you don't need to go anywhere. You can just go to the resort and experience everything there, and everything you ever want to do is there.
All right. So yung integrated resorts, in short, ang pinagkaiba niya sa resort is meron siyang other activities rather than swimming and staying inside the room. Kasi at first, akala ko nung una kapag sinabi mong staycation, nasa loob ka lang ng room eh. Hindi yon, hindi pala yun. Nasa bathtub ka lang. One of the options lang yon.
One lang yan. Yeah. You can do that, of course, certainly. You can definitely enjoy the room. That's part of the experience of staying. But there's a lot more in an integrated resort that we offer. Of course, most of the integrated resorts here in the Philippines have gaming too. And that lends itself to a whole lot of other entertainment options.
Oo nga, ako rin nagulat ako eh. Kasi lalo na ngayon, for sure, this quarantine, ang daming naging into gaming. As in, like, of all ages, genders, kasi nga, at home lang eh. So, nadala pala yan sa staycation culture. Anyway, sa mga nanonood right now, you may be into staycation, you may be not, but I hope nakahook-in pa rin kayo because right now, what I'm going to ask is that how has the staycation experience evolved? Particularly in the urban setting.
The staycation came kasi, for me lang how I have understood it. Minsan kasi, di ba, when you are trying to go out for an official trip, parang it's a mutation of that travel. Na it's a mixture of a business trip on the side kasi whether we like it or not, lagi tayo may dalang trabaho. And at the same time, you're trying to enjoy. Kaya lang, there are two types of staycationers kasi. One who would like to have an activity. The other one would just like to lie down the whole day inside the room. Kaya yung ayaw nila lumabas. Kaya medyo nauso na rin yung mga ibang mga booking platforms natin that offers serviced apartments, di ba? Kasi there are people who wanted to cook, yung hindi nila nagagawa because of their busy daily routines, pero ayaw nila magkalat sa sarili nilang kusina. You get what I mean, di ba?
Yeah.
So they just go there with the family, they bring whatever they wanted to cook kasi there are cooking facilities in the service apartments. Tapos doon sila magluluto and all that. So at least pagdating nila ng bahay, malinis pa rin yung bahay. But they were able to actually perform and do things that they are not able to do because of their careers or their busy lives. So yung pag-evolve ng staycations kasi, it's probably another factor din ito are the offerings na rin ng mga hotels that we have. From all the classifications of hotels we have, especially in Manila and other urban areas like Cebu, Baguio, Tagaytay, Davao, nagkaroon kasi ng establishment siguro ng mga other hotels na quite affordable for the people. Kasi let's face it, no, when I was still working in the hotel industry, it is hardly that I encounter someone who actually book for like a family unless mayaman talaga. May pera, because they're able to pay probably the local resident rates or the rack rates or the bar rates, what have you. Noon kasi hindi kultura ng Pilipino yung, okay, let's go and stay a weekend in the hotel. Hindi yung kultura nung time na yun eh. But then again, because of, the progress that the country had, yung pagkakaroon especially ng BPOs, the BPO industry,
Yeah.
malaki kasi yung sweldo ng mga agents. And for that matter, they can afford, you know, na o sige, off natin 2 days a month, let's go out, let's book a hotel, stay there a night. So, parang nag-evolve na rin lang yung culture, kumbaga, na nakasanayan na rin ng tao, okay, let's go out, let's stay for a night, let's get rid of the stress that we are facing in the urban setting, pero hindi tayo pwedeng lumayo kasi you know yung bahay natin baka walang tao and all that. So I guess that's how I have understood kung paano yung naging evolution ng staycation in the Philippines. Thank you.
So, yung evolution ng staycation culture, it came also from the evolution of the work of people or like how busy we are. Am I right? Yun. How about
Yes,
the
Aya.
yeah. Oo nga no, hindi ko na-realize din. How about the rest? You have anything to add?
I think I'll add to that, Aya, because like what Laksa said, right? We're so busy that we can't really take the time off to have like 4 nights of going out of town. Now, having a staycation in the urban setting allows you to just quickly get away na pwedeng 30 minutes drive lang siya, 1 hour drive lang siya. So it's convenient for the family, especially if you have a family that you have 2 kids. Just the packing itself is a chore alone. But if it's just a weekend staycation, then it's just easy for the parents to set that up, right? So just sometimes it's just a change in the scenery. You don't have to think about chores because somebody you can just order room service in the comfort of your own room. Then that's already a luxury in itself for these families that want a quick getaway. So I think that's also one of the things of how it evolved for the people here in the Philippines or in the urban setting.
Yeah, very nice. Oo nga naman. Very true. I'm learning so much, guys. So,
I also want to add dun sa
Yeah.
sinabi ni Alexa and Lax, no? I believe itong evolution ng staycation is also a good manifestation na nag-progress ang countries. Di ba? Na maganda ang kita ng mga tao ngayon. Bakit kamo? Bigyan tayo ng isang example. Manonood lang ng beauty pageant, finals ng Miss Universe. Ang daming nag-book. Di ba, ng mga millennials or even
Filipino.
all kinds of people, yes. We Filipinos, we can already afford. Manonood lang ako ng beauty pageant, magbubook na ako ng staycation. Plus, we have to emphasize that there are so many hotels right now. So, ang daming pagpipilian ng mga tao. Kaya talagang itong staycation, patok na patok to. Yeah, during the old times, we call this the local resident rate. Pero ngayon talagang staycation ng tawag. So, ang daming options, nag-progress ang buhay ng mga tao, kaya talagang hit na hit ang ating staycation packages.
Maski po yung term, nag-evolve na rin.
Nag-evolve, yeah. It used to be local residence rate, actually.
Yeah. So,
But
again,
now it's called staycation packages. Wala nang gumagamit ng LRR, Lax, ha?
okay lang yan. Okay. Again, that's learning. Now we learn na, meron pala siyang dating term na mas specific, di ba? Mas na-explain nga niya kung ano ibig sabihin ng staycation. And to those watching right now, maraming types of adventure. Maraming types of traveling. And staycation is one of them, which we are really talking about and breaking down right now na para mas ma-appreciate natin siya. Kasi baka yung iba parang, hindi talaga ako staycation type of person. Now, we're here to explore the different options. Now, you've mentioned, Miss Evangeline, kanina, the meaning of integrated resorts. Now, what do you think are the innovations in technology or hotel experience that have evolved naman to accommodate the staycation guidelines? So now, innovations in technology.
In terms of processes and technology, like the QR codes, instead of, because we need contact tracing, it's very, very important that whoever enters the facility, we know who you are, we know how to contact you, we know how to reach you. So that's right now for contact tracing in terms of entry to the casino. QR code is very important because it ease of. Can you imagine if you have, and some restaurants, standalone restaurants still have it actually, small pieces of paper that you write. I wonder how you will file those pieces of paper in a day.
Yeah.
because
Oo nga naman.
you will have a stack. And how will
Yeah.
you really contact trace? So you really need the help of technology
Yeah.
so that you will be efficient. Because how will you mine that data just in case you have an incident of COVID, right? That you
And
have to trace all these people. So that's number one for in terms of usage of technology. And of course, all the testings that's being conducted. At Soler, when you enter Soler, we will test you. We will rapid test you.
wow.
So because the things, the extreme measures that we have taken to protect the people that are inside Soler, our customers and our people, it is really above board. And so we want to make sure that that environment is protected for our guests and for everybody that would like to enjoy Soler. So we're very, very meticulous in terms of that protection. We want to maintain that Soler is safe for everyone.
Para less contact din eh. Yung physical contact. Kasi if paper and pen, you still have
Yep.
to touch it. Yeah. Diba? And so to those watching right now, may you be a tourist or you may own your own hotel, this is also a learning experience to all of us. Kung ano yung mga pwede nating i-adapt na protocols done in their respective businesses. Anything to add to the innovations in technology, the staycation guidelines?
Yeah, for us at Okada, actually, it's quite fun. In a fun way, you'll see that we have UV robots roaming around our lobby. So for our high traffic areas, just to assure and ensure the safety of our guests. So you'll see our UV robots roaming around the lobby. So it's something that we only see in movies, right? Like robots cleaning for us. So
Yeah.
now it's evolved to this. So parang fast forward into the future. And that's also something that we do in each of the rooms of our guests. We have our robots disinfect the rooms prior to guests check in. And then once the guest checks out, syempre, we also value the safety of our team members. So the robots will disinfect the room. So prior to our team members doing the additional, of course, sanitation and cleaning, then so yun din yung ginagawa namin dito to ensure na safe tayo, and it's within, of course, the staycation guidelines. So yun, medyo high-tech, nakakatuwa, nakakaaliw siya.
Oo nga, ang cute nga eh. An additional protection. Now, how
Yes.
different are staycations in Dolores, Quezon? Sir Lax. Yan.
Hi. Yeah, I think that will be our edge, no? Because after, the people who wanting to go out are looking for an open air, especially areas. And since Dolores Quezon is at the foot of Mount Banahaw, so we have much negative ions there. So we already started opening our tourism since 1st of August, of course, with certain protocols. And yung sinasabi nila kanina, ano nga yung term kanina, Aya, of a resort? Integrated?
Integrated resort.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Okay. Siguro we might not have that very complete integration of everything, but we have those kinds in Dolores. Kasi we have a nature retreat camp where you can hike, you can do farming, you can commune with nature, you can do yoga, you can learn how to do amulets, you can learn the history. Excuse me. You can do frisbee, you can play volleyball, you can do basketball. There's an honesty store if you wanted to drink. There's a bar there. It's an honesty bar. And we have Wi-Fi there also at certain areas. There's a jacuzzi also in one of the chalets. So yeah, that's how it goes in Dolores as we are actually promoting the faith and wellness tourist zone.
Wow.
Faith, not just because of Catholicism, we house the National Shrine of the Our Lady of Sorrows, but then we are housing also more than 70 sects. You know, the Austronesian culture that we have in Mount Banahaw, and we have agricultural products wherein they turned out to be tourism products. Especially we have one of the best turmeric brews, which is well sought after, together with ginger brews dahil nga for its health benefits because of this pandemic. And then we have several farms. We have open resorts as well. Dolores is actually not an urban setting, but it's actually fantastic and a good choice for solace and communing with nature and you know dun sa resort na sinasabi ko earlier, which is Bangkong Kahoy Valley. We observe protocols, but we let our guests to roam around without face masks,
Mm-hmm.
especially if they are not mingling with a lot of people. We allow them not to wear face mask. They just have to
Okay.
wear face mask when you are close within 1 to 2 meters with another person whom you are not staying with. Kasi it's a matter of you have to breathe the negative ions.
All
That's what
right.
that little box that you wear on your neck and you turn on is. Diba? You've seen those people selling those little box that you wear as a necklace.
Yes.
You turn it on, says it actually repels virus and all that. So we have the natural negative ions in the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
At saka, according to the guidelines naman, once you are away 2 meters or farther, you are safe from the transmission. Kasi Aya,
And
to be honest, no, we cannot live in fear forever.
mm-hmm.
And we cannot die of starvation.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
We have to get up. We have to make our economy move. And if we're
Mm-hmm.
going to live in fear, then we cannot move forward any longer. Because whether we like it or not, it's inevitable. This new
And
strain of virus actually is more contagious but less fatal.
yeah, and maybe instead of fear, what we are really promoting here is mindful traveling, di ba?
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, we
I like
cannot,
that.
maybe we cannot avoid fear. It is,
Yes,
I believe personally, fear is essential, but do not let fear decide your fate, di ba? So,
exactly. This is a
we
learning curve. Kumbaga, it's a learning curve for us
Mhm.
na before, pag nakita natin na may nag-aalcohol na kamay, iisipin natin, napakamata pobre naman nito. Ang
it's
arte.
just hygiene,
That's
di ba?
exactly our mindset
Agree.
before. But now,
Mhm.
halos maganda dry-dry na yung skin mo sa pag-aalcohol.
Yes.
Diba?
Sir Lax, this to our viewers right now, Sir Lax discussed a different meaning of integrated resorts. Now, guys, I'd like to frame it na integrated resorts is a spectrum. Diba? No one is better than the other, but they are a
Yeah.
range of options, of range
Mhm.
of beautiful and innovative options for all
Offerings.
of us for a staycation. Staycation is not equal to boring at all. Okay, so
Yeah.
what ako right now, kahit wala tayong visuals or pictures, sobrang gusto ko nang pumunta. So, anyway, to give us a clear view and a different perspective on staycation, despite the pandemic, let's have DOT Undersecretary Art Bongkato.
The concept of staycation is really emanated from the secretary, looking at ways how we can further expand nga yung economy through tourism, even under GCQ. That's the whole concept. So ako, I sit as her alternate in the IAT, one of her alternates in the IATF, but I'm the one sitting in the TWG. So she tasked me to present the concept of staycation. So the TWG is like a mirror image of the principles of IATF. So lahat ng mga undersecretaries, assistant secretaries are there. And everything that are elevated to the IATF are screened and processed by TWG. So ang baga, I presented the case. I had to defend it all the way to the end. And the objective really is just help the economy restart no matter how small that segment is. So, in effect ng TWG is, okay, we will present to the principals for approval. So yung mga major indicators was that we will allow staycation, and that is really and the concept of staycation is staying within your area, no? So we defined na, okay, a province is one area, NCR is one area. So if you're from Quezon City, you want to stay in BGC, in any of the hotels there, then you can, no? Then second is that because the primary target segment would be families, we said that it's difficult to target the family without bringing the young ones and the old ones. So that was also requested, which was approved by the TWG to be endorsed with the principals. Essentially, yun yung concept, no? Under GCQ, within the area, relax age limits. When it was presented to the ATF principals, it is where questions about no, it was presented to principals. At first, wala pa, no? That was there was an approval by the principals until the mayors of NCR raised that concern sa MMDA. And the mayors of the NCR meet every Sunday night to talk about updates on COVID. Secretary Puyat was invited to that meeting together with the National Task Force. So all of the mayors there were very concerned about yung staycation, no? By allowing this. So the secretary had to explain during that meeting with the mayors, lahat ng mayors ng NCR na ganito yung plano natin sa mga hotels. And then the primary concern, the first concern that was raised by the mayors is that what will happen to our hotels that are servicing as a quarantine facility? Because certainly maybe they already feel that most of them will now transition to this kind of mode without really understanding how small that market is anyway. But nonetheless, ganon. And then the National Task Force also agreed with the mayors. So ang proposal ng mayors during that meeting, that Sunday evening, was to limit staycation among 4 and 5-star rated hotels and keep the 3-star rated and below open as either quarantine facility or accommodation for ROFs, no? All those markets that we're trying to accommodate, even the essential industries, no, that would need accommodation. So that is really the firm push of the mayors. In fact, there's only one mayor there, just among us here, si Mayor Isko lang sabi, parang bakit hindi pwede yung 3-star na talagang nakasara the whole time, magbubukas ngayon lang, walang record na quarantine facility. Yung pala, isa pang usapan doon is dapat hindi siya quarantine facility at the same time. So those were the proposals by the mayors themselves in agreement during that meeting. So that also influenced the DOT in preparing its set of guidelines. The latest was when was during the last meeting. The latest addition was the antigen test, which was also proposed by the DILG, as proposed also by the mayors of Metro Manila. So this is where we're coming from, ladies and gentlemen. It is not off the cuff parang framework of DOT, but really influenced by the leaders who matter the most, because at the end of the day, without the LGU agreeing, we cannot do anything.
All right, thank you so much. DOT Undersecretary Art Bongkata will be back after a short break.
the hospitality industry is challenging yet fun and fulfilling. So you must really be passionate about your job, work hard, and deliver results. Winning the Virtus Awards is not just a feather in my cap, but I actually considered it as a gift which I will cherish dearly. Now that the Virtus Awards is already on its 6th year, it has finally gained the respect and recognition that it rightfully deserves. So to all the nominees for this year's Virtus Awards, I wish you good luck and advance congratulations. Thank you.
Welcome back, mabuhay. I'm Aya Fernandez, your online travel buddy. And for our viewers who are always on the go, working even on vacation. So kanina meron tayong staycation. Ngayon meron tayong new term. Or for me, it's new term to me at least. How can the urban traveler, make their workations memorable? So ngayon, di ba na-mention nyo kanina sa staycation, people also work, I think. So maybe workation is under staycation siguro. So how can one urban traveler make his or her workation memorable? Anyone can answer.
Actually, pagdating to sa workation, kasi that's actually my forte, kumbaga. Especially before I joined the government, I was working usually being consultants with other ASEAN countries in preparation for their curriculum in tourism. So, yung workation talaga is very important, sa mga business travelers. Kasi your work is stressful itself. I'm sure my friends here, sila Miss Banji, sila Alex, sila Shelo, they would also understand that when you are doing your sales blitzes, di ba, syempre, you're kind of busy, or mga sales missions, you're kind of busy preparing for the presentation because you make sure that you wanted to capture as much potential buyers as you can and all that. Pero minsan, di ba, when you're in the hotel, ikaw na rin, palibasa, hoteliers tayo. Well, I used to be working in a hotel myself. So, gumagawa tayo ng paraan kasi alam natin yung facilities of the hotel. Di ba? For example, what we can do is, you wear your sexiest bikinis, grab a mojito, go beside a pool while you are, while you have your laptop with you and prepare your presentation. That's actually something that, makes you, that could, well, I wanted to loosen up, but I can't. That's how a workation goes eh. So, pero for our viewers, especially, siguro, ang suggestion ko is for them to really check out the facilities probably of the hotels that they are going to stay with. Para at least, alam nila kung ano yung mga pwede nilang gawin. Probably, they can take a 15-minute coffee break, pero within the coffee break, they are watching or feeding koi fish. For example, there's a big, huge pond in the facility as part of the facility of the hotel. Or pwedeng, they can have a good and soothing foot massage while their laptops are on and then making their presentations or dealing with business. So there are a couple of things like that, and I'm sure most of our viewers have learned that already. As you have noticed earlier, I was not wearing my suit, but since I always bring my coat with me, so whether I'm wearing a shirt, or whatsoever you call it, I'm ready. Okay, let's go online.
Sanay na sa workation.
So this is a kind of workation, which is actually more convenient, di ba? Kasi I'm on my way to my staycation, but I have to go, do this with GSPTV. So it's a workation for me. I was parked somewhere I don't know, but it's a matter of just as simple as you can do many things, and ikaw din syempre ang gagawa ng paraan para libangin mo ang sarili mo. That's why it's always best that each traveler should be fully aware of the facilities of the hotels that they are going to stay with. Para alam nila kung ano yung pwede nilang gawin, and especially during COVID, they should know which facilities are allowed to be used and are not yet allowed to be used. Yeah, so that's it from me.
Tatandaan ko rin po yung tip nyo na magdala lagi ng suit.
Ready ka for the suit. Can I add, Aya?
Yes, of course.
Yes, oo. Tama naman yung sinabi ni Lux, no? I think ang pinaka-importanting i-share natin dito sa viewers is kailangan alam nila yung facilities talaga. They have to maximize the facilities of the hotel or an IR kung saan sila mag-check-in.
Mhm.
Like for example, sa Segue lang ako, in Okada, Manila, we are an integrated resort. So we have a lot of offerings. So meron kaming Cove Manila, meron kaming garden, meron kaming boardwalk, meron kaming Crystal Promenade and retail shops wherein, they can already do their shopping, they can watch the fountain show, though ngayon sarado pa tayo. But in the future, if magkakaroon sila ng opportunity for a workcation, maximize nila talaga. They can enjoy the best of both worlds. Na nag-work ka and at the same time, nag-enjoy ka. Meron kang leisure time for yourself. So, yun ang pinakamagandang workation. Kaya ang tips ko sa mga travelers, kailangan alamin ninyo ano ang mga offerings ng mga hotel kung saan kayo mag-check-in para you can already make a plan. Like for example, you're going to stay for 1 or 2 nights, you can already prepare a schedule. 'Di ba? Kung ano-ano yung mga gagawin mo, magpapaspa ako mamayang gabi, manonood ako ng fountain show, tomorrow magsho-shopping ako. So yun ganon, para talagang maximization of the workation.
True. And all in one place na yun. Hindi ka na
Mm-mm.
kailangan bumalik-balik pa ng kung saang lugar. True.
Yes, nandun na kasi lahat nandun ka na. So maximize mo na yan.
I wanna go. How about you, Miss Alex, Miss Van? Do you have anything to add?
Actually, Lax just gave me an idea. You can be in a meeting and then get a foot massage. Diba?
Hindi naman nakikita.
Hindi naman nakikita. So, I think that's something that hopefully once the businesses would loosen up and again following strict guidelines, it's something that we can implement then for those people that are here for their workation. Sometimes kasi some people just need a change in the scenery when they're working. They want like peace and quiet. Example, they have like an important board meeting to attend to and they can't do it at home kasi syempre you have kids having their Zoom classes and so on and so forth. And if you need to focus, then again, we're always open to have workation here at Okada, Manila. So I think maybe that's a good suggestion from Lax. So thank you for the tip.
Now, what are the economic benefits of staycation?
Well, there's lots of economic benefits of staycation. Our hard-earned peso does not go out of the country. It stays within the country, it stays within the community, it stays within the municipality. It depends how far you want to go. But if it's a vacation, you plan to go abroad, usually you have to exchange our hard-earned Philippine peso to a currency that is almost always bigger than the Philippine peso. So it's always more expensive. So it really contributes to the local economy if we buy local. It's like buying products that are local, buying our entertainment, because a staycation is basically entertainment. It's leisure travel. Keep our hard-earned peso within the country instead of let other countries benefit from our hard-earned peso. Also, a lot of savings in terms of going within our community. It's not a far drive. Gas is also very expensive and it's very harmful for the environment. Filipinos don't usually walk. We're always, I find it was a shock when I first came to the Philippines after of course, being away for a long time. In Canada, we walk. In most places, we walk. Here, nobody walks. Even across the street or whatever, people use the car. And I'm like, wow, that's gas, And staycation really is a contributor to our economy. If we stay local, we stay within the confines of our country, if we can, then we're contributing to employment of our people, earnings, livelihood of our people, not another country.
That's very beautiful. During the last episode, we discussed that it is one of the Actually, it's the top reason why we are opening the gates of tourism. It is to revive the more than 40 million Filipinos affected with tourism-related jobs. Diba? And also, we live where the rest of the world go vacation. So, diba, might as well adapt to the new normal. And speaking of new normal, I'm going to ask, what is the quarantine vacation? Like, I just know of it, but like you have to quarantine, but you choose to do it in a staycation way. Can you give us something if you know something about it? The quarantine vacation, like if you came from another place and then you have to go quarantine, you go staycation in a hotel.
Aya, are we talking about the OFWs and the balikbayans here?
Yes, I believe it is part of that, the quarantine vacation. Or iba lang yung term.
Okay, because when the pandemic hits the country, I think it's already part of the government safety protocols that all the balikbayans, all the OFWs must be quarantined in certain hotels. Oo. They chose hotels kasi number one, malapit sa airport like the Bay Area hotels. I think sila yung talagang nag-benefit dito sa ruling ng government. So ang daming seafarers, ang daming OFWs na naka-quarantine. But at the same time, I think na-enjoy naman nila yung ambience ng hotel. So it's like naka-quarantine nga sila pero wow naman. Ang ganda ng hotel ko, may wifi ako, ang ganda ng connectivity. I can watch Netflix, I can watch movies and matatry ko yung mga pagkain ng restaurants. And for the balikbayans and seafarers, syempre they also miss the country, di ba? So nung chinek-in sila sa mga quarantine hotels, hindi sila masyadong na-bore, natuwa sila. And personally, may mga kakilala ako at kaibigan ako ng mga seafarers. So nakikita ko sa Facebook posting nila na parang hindi sila bored. Actually, they're so
Nice.
proud. Oo, na I'm here. Hindi ko nababanggitin yung mga hotels, di ba?
Yeah.
Naka-check-in ako dito. Hello, Philippines, mga ganyan. So, nakakatuwa, di ba, na quarantine ka, but at the same time, they were able to have fun, 'di ba? So,
Mm.
nag-enjoy din sila kung saan sila chinek-in ng kanilang mga recruitment agencies. So,
Mm.
yun yung ma-share ko sa inyo.
That's very interesting. Now for our last question. How can we recreate traditional vacations in the new normal? Kasi 'di ba yung iba parang nakakamiss daw yung noon, ngayon ang dami ng kesyo hassle, dagdag ano. How can we recreate yon traditional vacations or memorable vacations in the past in the new normal?
What I keep on telling to everybody, with or without pandemic, you always have to innovate. You know, there's always a way for you to innovate. There's always a space. There's always an opportunity. And probably it's just sad that the opportunity that the opportunity for innovation that we are trying to adjust ourselves to is the pandemic,
Mhm.
right? So, syempre, kanina nga sinabi nila Miss Alex kanina, nila Shelo, there are these robots na, that's cleaning around, di ba?
Yeah.
But you would not expect that to be in a resort which is located in the mountains to have robots, you
Mhm.
know? But what we can improve probably is for the people to teach them on how they can disinfect the rooms on their own just by providing them of what they need to do and use. Like a signage, you leave there a disinfecting solution or a spray and tell them, please disinfect the room, please spray this in your room before you leave. So at least you are able to teach them also what they need to do when they go back home. Because these are
Mhm.
the things that they need to practice with the new normal. Because whether we like it or not, this is the normal. Okay, we
True.
won't call this new normal anymore, but this is the normal.
Yes.
'Di ba? Hindi siya pwedeng new normal na. Ito na yung normal. Wala na yung nakaraan. Forget about it. 'Di ba? Isama niyo na sa mga ex niyo 'yon. 'Di ba? Yung nakaraan. So what I'm just trying to say is always try to think out of the box.
Yes.
Try to look around. Ano ba yung nasa paligid mo lang? Ano ba yung pangangailangan ng mga taong nasa paligid mo? Ano sa tingin nyo pangangailangan ng mga guests who comes there? Ito yung pagkakataon kasi that when we are starting to reconnect with our clients, we started to ask them also, what are your expectations in this normal? so that we as providers could actually adjust to it. And probably we can make 101 more ideas on how we can innovate. Kasi isipin na lang natin, most of the entire tourism industry were shut down. Diba? And once we are slowly opening, how many of us or how many of the rest of the entire stakeholders in the industry are going to compete bottleneck with each other? Right? Now, if you don't have the edge, so what will make you survive? That's innovation. Ano yung activity that sa inyo lang pupuntahan? No other places would have it. Diba? Kung halimbawa sa amin, we are promoting this dish garden, the one in the pot where you arrange it with the saints or a small garden set with kalubaris and bibiratan and some, the lumot, which works as grass and with pebbles and all that. So instead of just selling it, what we do in one of our resorts is for, let the guests buy the pot, the soil, the other things that she wanted to put in there, and she creates it and then she brings it to her own. So naging plantita na rin siya, which is so uso now, but they are able to experience on how to do it themselves. There are so many activities that we really have to think of. Especially, paano ba natin gagawin, like, those hotels who are having casinos, paano ba talaga natin sila mapapaghiwa-hiwalay? Parang ang hirap. Diba? When you bet, hindi naman pwedeng, diba? Hindi naman pwedeng mga dalawang metro ang layo nyo sa isa't isa because you only have a very small table. In the same manner, when you're doing the slot machine, when you're doing the kaching-kaching, minsan, aminin na natin ang katotohanan, hindi naman every time na may tumatayo dyan, madi-disinfect po yung hinawakan nila, di ba? Meron mga miss-outs pa rin dyan at some point. So, what are the things? Siguro, that will be a challenge na for everyone, Aya, and the rest of our friends here in the industry. The only solution for us on how we can actually recreate the tourism industry is for us to innovate. That's the only way. I don't know how we all gonna do it. Sabi ko nga, nakadepende yan sa environment, nakadepende yan on what we have. Kasi syempre, hindi naman tayo pwedeng if we wanted to recreate things, kailangan gumastos tayo. And we cannot afford to do that because we have to recover the losses that we have in the last 7 months. So, malabo yung pumasa sa GM at saka sa financial controller, di ba? Kapag may mga gustong ipagawa para lang masabi natin we have to recreate. But there are a lot of activities that you can actually do.
Yes.
Do yoga. Diba? Do all these healthy things na dyan kasi sirang-sira ang tao ngayon. Gusto namin healthy. Gusto namin yung mga activities ay super nakaka-boost ng immune system. So make use of that. Make use of that as your baseline for an activity for innovation.
Yes, tsaka Sir Lax, sana sa mga viewers natin right now, sana avoid natin yung being polar about it, yung polarity between new normal, new protocols, hassle, hindi. Kasi kahit naman nga hindi pandemya, mag-a-adapt tayo ng mag-a-adapt. Nagkataon lang. Yes, nagkataon lang talaga na sabay-sabay yung stress natin sa iba't ibang bagay, kaya mukha siyang stress or hassle. Pero actually, tama. You're just adapting. So, I hope we have a different perspective after this episode. Now, we are more positive, but at the same time, mindful. How about the rest?
Yes, Aya, can I just add one? Sorry,
Sure. Go.
Actually, I wanted to thank this pandemic. You know why? Kasi the business people, the people in the business sectors, siguro dati may mga lapses tayo in running our own businesses. But because we are so busy flying in and out of the country, doing this and that, we have no time to fix all those. But when we are all shut down because of this pandemic, we were given that opportunity to really rethink, reassess, re-strategize our businesses and how we are going to do with our lives, financially. And I think the best thing that I could actually advise also to our viewers and to the rest of our colleagues here is maybe we are given the chance and opportunity to start it right this time before we hit the button. Diba? Kasi pinatigil tayo whether we like it or not. So we were given that opportunity kung paano natin itatama yung mga practices na sa tingin natin eh, hindi masyadong tama. Hindi ko naman sinabing mali, pero still because yun na yung nakasanayan, di ba? So at least this time you were given all the 7 months to rethink, re-strategize. So yun lang. Thank you, Aya.
Thank you so much, Sir Relax. Pero before I go on to the next panelists. Where can we search the information that you've shared to us about Dolores Quezon? San
Yeah,
sila?
actually wala pa kaming website. It's still going to be automated next week.
Okay.
However, you can like the Facebook page, which is Dolores Tourism Faith and Wellness Tourism Destination.
All
We
right.
have tried to, well, we are actually getting using the Facebook accounts because there are more people who's using social media more than websites,
Mm-hmm.
especially with the free data and all that. So, mas prefer namin yun kasi mas malaki yung reach niya. However, we will be launching our automation next week where we have our own page for tourism. And relatively, you can send us an email through dolorestourism@gmail.com. And yeah, so
All
ayun,
right.
pwede ko rin ibigay info later with the admin para you can post it and on all that.
All right. Thank you so much, Sir Lax. How about the rest? How can we recreate traditional vacations in the new normal?
The world of events has significantly changed. So I think, kagaya ng sinabi ni Lux, ang important nowadays is flexibility. And we really have to adapt to the new norms. So wag na tayong matigas ang ulo. Magsuot na tayo ng face mask, mag-face shield.
Mm-mm.
Tanggapin na natin ang katotohanan na ito na ang new normal. So we cannot do anything about it. So just follow the strict regulations of the government. And yesterday, I just read an article. Ang Singapore pala, nag-announce na ang ating Prime Minister and the Health Minister of Singapore that they're already increasing the events capacity of the weddings there from 50, it's now 100 people. And that's very, very good actually. So as soon as the government announced that they can now do weddings for 100 people in Singapore, a lot of hotels in Singapore actually prepared packages in order to accommodate the numerous leads that they got. According to the news, the bookings increased by around 25 to 30%. So that's very, very good. So they also created packages and implemented zoning. And
Mm-hmm.
they also have live streaming. And then they have this ruling wherein they have pre-assigned times for people to come in dun sa wedding. So meron silang time slot, kumbaga, so
Nice.
that yes, so that the client and the hotel will be able to have crowd control with regards to the arrival of the guest. So parang naisip ko lang, maybe when we transition to MGCQ, it's actually very good, di ba? Maybe the Philippine government can actually follow and adapt this international best
Yeah.
practices.
Two
Para
birds,
naman
one stone.
yes,
Naka-attend na ng live, pero naging strict tayo sa carrying capacity protocols na hanggang dito
oo,
lang.
correct.
Okay,
We just
next
need
time
to be
slot
more
naman.
creative and innovative lang,
Yeah.
'di ba? Para mag-boost naman yung economy. So, I just wanna share it. Sabi ko, maganda
Thank
'tong ginawa ng
you.
Singapore actually. It's
Yes,
good for
thank you.
events. So, maybe in due time, pag nag-MGCQ na tayo, maybe we can follow and
Yes.
adopt.
Thank you so much, Michelle. Ang ganda ka nun. Hindi ko rin nabasa yun. How about you, Miss Evangeline?
Yes, I agree with Lax and of course my dear friend Cello about innovation. That's the only way to survive. We really need to change, and really it's a mindset and it's an attitude that we have to take. Sa hotel, we're almost all parang sanay na tayo about that because we're a 24/7, 365-day operation. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
this pause has been a welcome break because we're always in the rush. It's always urgent. It's always now. But COVID forced us to stop and rethink, look at our policies and procedures, the way of doing things. Really, as hoteliers, we all, or sellers na lang, not just hotel people. How do you sell? It's you sell your unique selling points. Especially as we transition and as we ramp up, everybody will be clamoring for the same guest in a staycation. So our market here in Metro Manila is all the same, and we're all going to be clamoring for that. Who wins is the one who will be able to communicate, to our prospective guests the unique selling points of our property, what makes us unique, what makes the experience different from any other property. And what is that? It's innovation. Really, that's the only thing that will spell the difference of success in capturing the hearts and minds of Filipinos.
Yes, and of course, before the selling point, what we are discussing right now is to go safe muna, diba? Na we are assured that this hotel knows very well its responsibility, its guidelines. So kahit na matagalan pa yung pag-reopen, it's okay. For as long as, number one, we are all safe. Thank you so much, Miss Vange, from Manila Bay. Thank you so much. And of course, Miss Alex.
I think everyone's already said it, but I'd like to anchor on what you mentioned earlier, Aya, on mindful traveling, right? Because everyone has already adapted. Yes, it's true, it's a hassle to wear a face mask, it's a facial, but it's already the new normal. So we have to acclimatize ourselves in walking around public areas wearing that. But once you're in the comforts of your own suite, or if you're on your own room, then you can enjoy that. So you can still recreate like those memories you have with your loved ones. So it's not as if it's totally changed. You can still recreate those things. Like the background of Miss Evangeline, the Manila Bay sunset, we have our garden, the garden. Our guests can always go to the garden to still enjoy the Manila Bay sunset. So it hasn't changed. Maybe like you said, the carrying capacity of since there's guidelines as to how many people can enter the garden, then that's just it. We just can't force everybody to come in at the same time, because our concern is, of course, the health and well-being of our customers. But then again, it's about mindful traveling, like GPS is always promoting. It's go safe, go travel. As long as we have all of those guidelines in place and we always think of mindful traveling, I think we should be able to recreate those memories.
Thank you so much, Miss Alex. What a wonderful way to end this panel. Thank you, Michelle, Miss Vange, Sir Lax, Miss Alex. Mabuhay po kayong lahat. And thank you so much to everyone who joined us on our conversation. And for me, that was really a learning experience. And sana wag yun mag-end dito. Baunin natin, i-apply natin kung ano man yung natututunan natin dito. And yun, to you guys watching on Facebook and YouTube, kindly share this episode and comments on the comment section what else you would want to ask or anything about mindful traveling. Thank you also to Hotel Sales and Marketing Associations, the Department of Tourism, and the Tourism Promotions Board. Again, mabuhay po kayong lahat, ating mga dear panelists, and sana marami talaga kayo natutunan at nalaman tungkol sa safe and mindful traveling. Always plan your trips and consider the health situation of your family, your resources, and the location you're going to. Syempre, on top of strict medical protocols so that everyone can safely enjoy, including the rest of the people around you, di ba? Hindi lang naman ikaw ang nagta-travel. Marami rin, di ba? So talagang mapapakita natin dito yung bayanihan sa pamamagitan ng pagiging mapagmatsyag na manlalakbay, di ba? Huwag tayong maging turista sa sarili nating bayan. So always remember that for everyone to enjoy a worry-free travel experience, we first have to #go safe before we go travel. #go safe, go travel. Until our next flight, this has been your online travel buddy, Aya Fernandez. Watch out for more episodes and see you again only here on GPS TV. Go Philippines, soar high. Mabuhay everyone.